guys, Mix here, hope you're doing well, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the game of the dankest, freshest memes. The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we're stuck in a fucking garbage dump. Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Let's just go then. We have a way to open this door. Okay, apparently we do. There's so much garbage here, I can't believe this place is still uninhabitable. Well, it's not really, you nearly died in here. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool you got from the headmaster's room. Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? So why aren't we doing it? Hey Kyoko, we can use this key of yours to open this door, right? Let's find out. Kyoko took the key out with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then? Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. And we're already on deadly life, I guess. Okay. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. We got like almost a panty shot on Kyoko there. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh, how come? It's like a family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort? It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when we were looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak Academy, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak Academy, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family, He was talented. He had a promising future. But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take him with you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I would never have become a chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative. And more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there is one thing. One thing that I can never forgive. Really? The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that. Our only connection is through blood. Nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like blood on that. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. I keep doing the voices wrong. But I can't believe how long the ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never could have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favour. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you, you help me so they might... You're worried? Of course.
So
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh? Let's
In
ask
other
Monokuma if
words-
there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's... If we try and hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean? The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was? If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... No, I'm super uneasy about this. But we really don't have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's
Shall
get
we
going.
go?
Let's go into the gym. It's been very interesting so far, hasn't it? The gym is just down here. I guess, Monokuma, it's time for a bit of a confrontation. This is going to be like a chapter of Revelations, I'm guessing. Oh, it's nighttime, I just realised. We came out in the middle of the night. That's interesting. So everyone else is probably in their rooms.
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you? So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I'm gonna punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, whatever you feel you have to. What? Before you do, let me say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? I lose? You explain yourself. What do you mean by that? Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in the way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me. I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? What are you talking about? But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of being a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it. Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did. So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You said the Blackened is me and not Makoto? And you can prove this, right? No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make a bold claim with that shred of evidence? I don't have any right now, but with a little more time I guarantee I'll find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type? If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by despair you so love to inspire. But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts. And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence? It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh? Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right. Despair can never kill hope. Of course, you can say you're making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square, then I suggest you take my evidence. My advice. What is this advice of yours? To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey.
That would make it for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'd probably just execute me without another word. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Berry? I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now what you suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
does that mean you accept? If we do things your way, there'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? And I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. And we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So this final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pouring around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify a victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure. When you have uncovered every lost truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how all this has turned out.
Hey.
Before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's
I remember
wrong?
that for sure. So what? I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that. So, someone that died earlier in the game isn't dead. Is Hifumi dead? Someone's the mastermind. One of us. One of us that is already dead. Huh? Makuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. Many people to take a single step in Hope's Peak Academy since the killing game began are those 16 students. What? Are you telling the truth? Why'd you go quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Unless the killer faked their own death, the mastermind, like early on, maybe they're one of the people who got executed. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seems to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were at the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you for everything I have right now. It's because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. True. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they? They have no choice but to accept. It's all because of that one moment the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it the mastermind let their guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but you do remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that. And what did you think when they heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable. You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, this kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off. And yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it. But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason? They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world. The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, they don't make sense. If these stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody. So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why? To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point? The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak Academy, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right? And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous. You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group, whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer? I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What? Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than it's reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter. At least that's how those who were watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves? That is
Indeed.
precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. In my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer. They made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when the fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion. To prove the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form. It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge?
However,
Well, it's only thanks to you we got the chance, because you believed in me, and that the path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue. In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right, this time at least. I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. While presenting a strong demeanour is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? But if I showed my uneasiness, that would have just made that much more uneasy. You're probably right. How pathetic. Anyway, we
However-
can't relax just yet. All we've done is another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who the real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone. Is that really
however,
possible? Anyway, right now we
Anyway.
have to find the others.
shall
They're probably
we
in the
go?
dorm somewhere. Let's go. Let's go, I guess. This is pretty intense so far. One final class trial looms, where we have to find out who is the mastermind. And one of these people is the mastermind. This is Byakurim. Is he inside?
Hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Are they in the dining room? And suddenly we were greeted with you again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
however,
Wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're
Shut
not
the
a
fuck up, Hero.
ghost, right?
Everyone was there, all my friends who struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
What the
Yeah, man, it
heck?
seriously stinks. It's Makoto, he smells like a wet dog. Get away. Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up. There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? Is it okay you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
it's true.
That's related to what I had to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial? We're going to
other
redo
words.
Mukura's trial. Seriously?
How
What's
about
the point of
that?
redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
Wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind. You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro?
That's
It
right.
was an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what we had to do to stop it. But his decision
However-
meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you
You
say?
spotted a trap. Did you, Makoto? You made it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
However,
But executing Makoto wasn't the Blackened is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The Mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the Mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. Use the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you? Very observant of you. I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now is the Mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to. I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later. So knowing all this, what do we do now? It's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the Mastermind? There's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the skull. Every last mystery? We've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Who said you could agree to these terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine with living here forever with my master. I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words,
Interesting.
one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
Figuring out who the Mastermind is and how they killed Makuro and all the school's mysteries. It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we can solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
I
I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Because one of us is the Mastermind. I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries. That's what I thought too at first. Until Monokuma gave us the hint of his... Hint? Yeah, he said...
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Oh, why? If
So,
the Mastermind
in
really
other
is the one who
words-
killed Makuro, as Kyoko says, then the Mastermind would have to have set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could have probably murdered Makuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that. But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak Academy are the 16 students who've been taking part in the killing game. And the Mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Makuro and you get 16. So the Mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. You gonna continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the Mastermind is one of us? You can't be serious! Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have said that to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The Mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're the ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. They must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the Mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? Did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. I don't care how sneaky you are. You would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right.
And maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely possible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. This morning, right?
This is a school
New message.
announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's
The
fine.
time for talk is done. We need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the
At this
name
point,
of
I
my
can rely
family.
only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must hold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Bye then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, you didn't take me with him? Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko trudged off out the dining hall. Now she's gone. And you're gonna go up by yourself, right, Kyoko? That's right.
Indeed.
Which leaves Makoto, Hina, and me. In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a
Oh,
second.
come on! Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing out loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gone up by themselves? What about you, Hina? Guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, it's not like I don't trust everyone, you know? But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto, it's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've been mostly totally useless. So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us get out of here. So I'm gonna go off now and do it all on my own. See you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko? Well, don't
However,
misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together. That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigation doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see as splitting up is to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. That's right.
So then,
I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors to the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have any time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this skull. And then we can all escape together. Investigate the final mode. I guess I'll start by taking a little look at Makuro's Monokuma file. We know this already. They were hit in the back of the head. Once we find out who killed Makuro, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So I should start my investigation to figure out who killed her. I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the bio lab, and the door in the dentist center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorm was where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder. Which means the garden and the dojo. Time to get started. Got a lot to do. Drop a save, I'm going to keep going. It's going to be an hour-long video. Might not get all the investigation done here, but... you know. We'll get some of it done. Second floor dorms are here. I guess we should check here first. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms. Which means... I have to do it! This is the second floor of the dorms. It looks like some ancient ruin. Or it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. This is kind of spooky, isn't it? All new shit. Oh, I just brought up my fucking overlay there. Great. Go me. The bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore. It's just garbage. Anything in the bathroom here? I opened the door just a crack and glanced inside and immediately closed it again. There wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. Well, this is nothing. Absolutely nothing there. What the fuck? Seriously? What the fuck? That's so weird. I can't go in the girls' bathroom. I'm embarrassed. Nothing in here at all. That toilet was in oddly good condition. Okay, this looks weird. Like a locker room? This room is filled with lockers. It must have been the Havoc Academy students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Wow. I wonder if I can open this locker. There's a card reader installed in the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the lockers on the second floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those. So does that mean... Well, let's give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then? No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Unless someone from the dead lockers... Yeah, unless one of the, No, I'm just going to do the same thing every time, right? So, we should try all the lockers from the dead people in the main thing. We should see if they open anything. Okay. I mean, all these are just like the same shit, right? I can't imagine any way to get this locker open. I'm not even going to bother trying. Okay, so we should definitely do that though, right? That makes sense. Don't know why I didn't say that. What the fuck is this? This room doesn't feel like a student's room. It has more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko! I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it one more time. A regret? What are you going to say, Kyoko? Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. For fuck's sake. Right, there's a secret door, obviously, there. There's a strange gap in the wall. Some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something? Or a secret door. There's a gap here, but not a normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze? There's likely an open space on the side of this wall. Open space, does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something? A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on the PC, I think, that controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open right up. But I don't have a clue to what the password might be. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. Alright, that's not nearly enough to go on. I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on his PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had to desire, but nothing that might have been his password. I think of how much time I wasted on this. I wonder if it's Kyoko. Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some information on the ultimate despair? There's not much though, nothing we don't know already. The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair. And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best you could do to compete as a complete Kirigari failure. Oh, a complete Kirigari failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on. Correct. I see. That's a good outlook to have. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she means by regret. I think we could assume there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. If Kyoko can't figure out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Oh, sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talks about her dad, the idea that he could use her name as his password. Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure? It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. Then let's do it. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. It's not like it might hurt Kyoko even more.
Hey.
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. It's gonna be the name. I collected myself and turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password in here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling as I finished typing it in. It was her name. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked!
Why?
Kyoko. Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. We're going in the fucking room. Holy shit, this is exciting, guys. Hey, Kyoko. I may as well not have even been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on one thing. A present. Wrapped up and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. There's a brightly coloured box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay. Be careful, Makoto. Why, do you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in here? Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. This is so fucking amazing. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? That's a fucking Seven reference. It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined? Just as I thought. What? It's her father's remains. What was in the box? It was wrapped up all nice. Okay, let's talk to Kyoko. Just as you thought. How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not like I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box. My father. Huh? What about him? What you found in the box? Those bones. The body. That's my father. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? That is... Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on, how could you know that for sure? How do you know that's him? Given all the information we already have, that's the only possible answer. So the same person may well be the mastermind. We know this, fucking hell. Alter Ego said the headmaster was probably here in the school. But the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume. That most likely my father was in the school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Oh no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it just as though she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I had to believe at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut all ties. But was that all there was to it? Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. Hidden room present, banana to truth bullet section. This picture. It's all faded, it must be pretty old. It's Kyoko with her dad. Is this a picture of... Hey Kyoko.
Why would
This is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet... to now fight something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
I wanted to face him and tell him to myself, to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. Now, he's abandoned me again. And this time he even stole the opportunity I had to move on. Has he ever been a worse father? Kyoko. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission. Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. Are you sure?
Because...
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... What's this? It's an e-handbook, right, and has a label on it that says in case of emergency. I found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk. A handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right.
It would
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? But Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay? We'll use that to open the lockers. Listen, Makoto.
Hey.
Huh? Can I ask you a favour? A favour? What is it? I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but... Could you leave? Huh? Just for a little while. I'd like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little. I need to get my emotions in order.
Second.
You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. Now, how you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe the picture motivated him. Maybe you hope to see me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, that's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. I'll see you later. Right, we're back here. Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. We were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind. Which means the mastermind's true identity is... one of us. We know this! Stop doing the fucking flashbacks, we fucking know. It like recaps everything every few seconds. 15 of us met in the main hall. Add Makuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. I reckon one of them isn't dead. Maybe Leon. Maybe the fashionista. She killed Monokuma. Monokuma killed her. She didn't die normally. She could have scripted that with the Monokuma, like they were talking about. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones left alive are... me. Byakuya. Hiro. Toko. Hina. Kyoko. It's not one of them. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. No, there's nothing else of use here, I don't think. Desk with a computer. I don't need these right now. I'm not going to be doing any more fucking score routes. Alright, let's leave. Let's try and use the thing on the locker. Blood there. Let's try and use this to open one of the lockers in here. Let's see if that works. The headmaster's handbook. I don't know if it'll let us, but we'll see. What about the emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Yes. Yes. Let's see what they got inside. I don't see anything that might be a clue. Okay, we'll try all of them then. We're going to try them all. It's really important we try them all. This thing is practically empty. Except for that. There's just one thing. Comes got a pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's something writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. Looks like a girl's handwriting. I know the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. My hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Academy into a shelter and isolate the students here in communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. He just happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student projects safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it. I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko, it couldn't be anyone else. Unless the mastermind is like Kyoko's sister? What was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote in here completely contradicts what she already told me. So she hasn't seen her dad since she left when she was little? I decided to talk to one with the counterpart. Yeah. This is really interesting. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about the whole thing. But then I reached the final page, the question mark spinning through my mind. Just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Despair walks among us. Oh, fuck's sake. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? Despair walks among us and so we survive. There is a second despair. Right, that's obviously really interesting. Open any others? I'm guessing probably none of the others. This one here? There's something in here. This locker's totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to has the organization problems in every part of their life. It belongs to Hiro. This is the crystal ball. A crystal ball? It can't be. There's no way he ever uses locker. It's just not possible. Oh, fuck me. It's a deck of playing cards. No, they're tarot cards. But wait, aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? Is Hiro the mastermind? Is he playing dumb the whole time? There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order. And dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. The moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook, it was written Yasuhiro Hakagure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes from a variety of classes, which would mean he attended classes here? That can't be possible. I suspect we all attended classes here, as before the disaster. Maybe. Are we all dead? I mean, Hiro came to this school at the same time as the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? This is fascinating shit, isn't it? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look... And that's where the photographs came from, of us all happy together. Is it like an alternate universe thing? None of this makes any fucking sense, does it? Like, no sense at all. This is really fascinating. But it's also where I'm going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed these revelations. We'll continue with some more Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, really fucking soon. Hope you guys have a great day. Remember to leave that like if you enjoyed. Bye for now. Bye.